All right, hello, we are Team 7143, and this is our Sprint 4 Demo 3. So after firing up the game here, we can see that the game has changed quite a bit. One of our user stories that we worked on this sprint, and probably the biggest one, the biggest change to the game, was the overall look to the game. You can see that Robot Boy is no longer a robot. He's actually more of this gladiator style look to him, and there's a lot of other things that we're going to talk about. But the first one I want to talk about is Robot Boy and his movement in general. You can see that here we are moving kind of at a slower pace. We've added this animation so that Robot Boy kind of walks depending on how much pressure I'm applying to the control. So you can see he's got this kind of a slow walk to him. And then as we start to apply more and more pressure, you can see that he's kind of picking up to kind of a mid pace. And pretty much this is his fastest pace right here. I do want to say that at this point, this is only part of the controller functionality. If you're using the keyboard, obviously there's not a pressure sensitive switch that we can apply, so it's just kind of an on off. So this only works with the controller having him move at the different speeds. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is our 3D animations. So we have basically multiple layers now in the game for our scenery. You can see that, let me get rid of these guys real quick. You can see that Robot Boy is walking here on the dirt and the grass, and that's pretty much moving relative to his speed. Actually, all the layers moving relative to his speed, but this first layer is moving the fastest. So that's kind of giving you the, okay, this is where he's walking at, and this is the train he's on. And we have the brown layer of trees, and is the next layer. And then behind that, we have the black layer of trees and scenery. And ultimately behind that, we have the gray mountains and starry background, which is kind of our final background drop. And they're all moving at different speeds to provide this three-dimensional look to the game. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is our jumping animation. So you can see that Robot Boy is jumping. He always jumped, but now he's got this two kind of aspect jumping. He's got his legs spread out a little bit. He kind of prepares for landing, and he kind of does one arm out. So we added some additional animation just to give him some personality as he's jumping. So you can kind of see there, he's kind of get ready to land, kind of spread his arms out and his legs out. The next animation I want to talk about is our attack animation. We have changed it from the red/orange block that he used to shoot out to now it's actually got an animation of a fireball that he uses for attacking. So not only is it moving out from him, but as it moves, you can see that it kind of does this little squiggly like fireball animation. So that's something key that we added. We are using some physics to control that and whatnot. See if I can find some enemies to actually attack. Kind of just, okay, here we go. So as they hit them, you can kind of see that they're attacking the enemies. And when the enemies die, they actually will drop these power packs. But let's talk about these enemies while they're here on the screen. So you can kind of see that we have this skull with the purpley flame around them. And we also have these kind of like what I call tree guys. They kind of look like fossilized trees. And then, like I said, we do have these power packs also. So we have the power pack that you can see our health is about 40%. When I step over this power pack, the health should go up a little bit, and it's kind of random depending on the power pack. There you can see it went up about 10%. So that's all part of our advanced animations that we've added this sprint. And the next user story I want to talk about that we worked on this sprint, you can see in the top left there, we've got our score, we've got our level, we've got our experience, health, all that. Basically, just getting all of that integrated into the new look of the game. So we had all of this in animations, the background and everything, getting all of that set up so that it worked correctly again. Was a big part of this sprint. We spent quite a bit of time on that user story, getting everything integrated, the look and the feel, the experience bar, all of that back in with all of these animations, and that was one of our user stories for this sprint. All right, the final user story I want to talk about was our settings menu that we have in the game. So basically we open up our settings menu here, and we can go down to the controls. So one user story we worked on was actually to get these controls set up in the control menu. So when the user gets in here, they can see how the controls are currently set up for the game. Right now, we don't have controls for the actual controller setup under the controls, although you can still use the controller to play the game. But as of right now, we just have the controls for the keyboard setup, which you can use either to actually play the game. So when we get in here, we obviously have keys for movement, jumping, fireball attack, all shown to the user. And the plan is eventually to be able to allow the user to set up those controls however they see fit. So we'll go ahead and resume our game here. All right, and that is our demo for Sprint 3. And we'd like to thank you for watching.